Alright, Raider Nation, what's going on? Finally here to be talking briefly about the Raiders. Where do we begin here? This is a season where expectations are still going to be the same and low as usual. But yeah, I really don't know what to expect. Preseason watch, we're just going to have to watch and see what guys do, because we can see these reports in training camp, all we can hear, and what's going on in Napa, but we really don't know how good this team is until they're on the field. We're not going to know. Preseason, as usual, hope to see the starters do well. Don't want to see injuries. I don't really care if the team wins or loses these games. I mean, we just got to find out who can look all right and who don't look all right, and who gets cut and who doesn't get cut. Going briefly, though, on each area position. Quarterback, looks like Flynn will be the starter. That's what I was kind of expecting. So there was this talk about Tyler Wilson, but no, he's not NFL ready yet. I figured he hasn't spent enough time to grasp the system yet. At running back, McFadden's fine when he's healthy. We all know that. Murray's hurt, and Rashad Jennings should be fine as a backup, but the backup running back should get plenty of playing time when McFadden gets hurt. Wide receiver, lots of depth there. There's a lot of bodies, from Bryce Butler to Jaron Kreiner to obviously Denarius Moore and Jacoby Ford. And now we're reading Rod Streeter, looks like the first receiver. I mean, this staff is very high on Streeter more than anyone else, and it's kind of sad we don't exactly have a deep threat if that's the case, if Streeter's going to be the main guy. Hopefully Denarius Moore picks up from where he was a couple of years ago, because last year was disappointing. But then, on the other side, Connor Vernon is the one that's under the radar. I mean, who knows what happens there. Tight end, lots of bodies now. We got Rivera and Costa who were added. I see Richard Gordon so far getting cut. It looks like David Osbury is the main guy, and we'll see what happens there. He's the main tight end as of right now. Offensive line, tired of Khalif Barnes. Very tired of seeing him, but considering that Menelik Watson is hurt, it's not a good sign. A lot of guys are hurt, but Valdir, a guy we want for the long term. Stefan Wisniewski, you want for the long term. Parts of the offensive line look all right. I just hope the offense is not so predictable like Mr. Knapp did, but Greg Olson comes in. Hope it's a better style of offense. That's all you can hope for. Going on to the defense. Secondary should be much improved. The secondary should be the biggest strength of the Raiders' defense. You got Tracy Porter, Mike Jenkins, DJ Hayden, higher expectations there. And then at safety, you got Tyvon Branch, who was kept and who should be the long-term safety for this team. There's expectations there. Of course, you have Charles Woodson. Welcome back. I forgot to mention, I know I never made a video, but welcome back, Charles Woodson, being the other safety. Secondary should be fine. But the front seven is a bunch of no-namers. Nobody knows these guys. The defensive line in particular, minus an old Andre Carter and Lamar Houston, there's nobody on the defensive line you could name off the top of your head, unless you're a Raider fan or unless you just look at the roster online, because there's all no-namers, from Hunter to Bilakidi. That's the one position they really did not address this offseason, unfortunately, but there's a lot of holes. We addressed our secondary, so I guess it's phase one of addressing the defense. And then in the linebacker, there's the young guys like Sia Moore and Miles Burris, who were draft picks. And then our best free agency splash of the offseason, and that was Nick Roach. I believe he's going to be the better guy to replace Philip Wheeler, who we lost in free agency. Roach, from what I've heard, he was the under-the-radar linebacker with the Bears, and I think he's going to be the guy to look for on preseason watch. But some of the younger players, I mean, I would hope to see Sia Moore do well, and I would hope to see someone like David Boss do well, but I don't have expectations there. I hope DJ Hayden's healthy, and I hope everyone else is. Still not a fan of the DJ Hayden pick, but what can I say? I mean, I can't control what Reggie's doing. One thing I do know is that if the secondary is bad, or is the reason why they're losing games, Dennis Allen deserves to be gone, because that is his strength of position on the defense. That's supposed to be his mainstay, is the secondary. And if it doesn't show the defense doesn't show signs of improvement, then this team is going to be looking bad for a while. But you can only address so much in an off season, and the defensive line and linebackers, a bunch of young people on there, and minus Andre Carter, it's not going to look pretty. I think the run defense is going to be hard to watch. Danes probably won't have to throw on us because they could run it down our throats. But that's how I see it. I mean, this team, bunch of no-namers, minus a few players in between. Janikowski, congratulations on the long-term deal. Looks like he's going to retire as a Raider. And then at punter, there's that competition between Marquette King and Chris Cluey. I would not be surprised if King becomes the main punter. I mean, there's a punter competition, surprisingly. So yes, I hope Greg Olsen. I want to see some development on the offense. I really hope there's something there because I'm not so sure. This quarterback situation, we really don't know. None of us really know anything about these quarterbacks, minus a little bit of Flynn being a backup and some young guys. But Pryor, I'm not impressed. I think Flynn is the best option, and that's what the Raiders did. They made that trade with Seahawks and traded Palmer away. So they feel Flynn's the best option available, and Tyler Wilson is your project. So with that being said, enjoy the preseason, guys. I do not make videos after preseason games, and that's if you're new. Most of you know that and have watched me for years. I will make one more video in August, and that's like right between the third game and the fourth game of the preseason. I'll kind of give my deeper thoughts about the preseason and stuff. But otherwise, yeah, preseason watch. Just want to see the kids play, and I don't have expectations this year. It's going to be another rough one to me, but it is what it is. I can't control what the team does. So we'll see you guys later, and let me know what you guys think of this Raiders team.